And now for something completely different. Keep watching. Yeah, it's got a ukulele review day back again with the summary video review to accompany the written review that's linked below. Thanks as always to the donations that have come in that help keep this site going, and why not think about subscribing to the channel. Hit the button down there and also the little bell symbol and you'll get notified when new content goes up. Okay, I said this was different, and it is. It's not a concept that is alien to me because I've seen it with some high-end guitars before, but it's the first time I've seen one on a ukulele. This week we are looking at the Uma Pulse KC Concert. Now, do not adjust your set. What this is a multi-scale concert, and that is to say that it employs something called fan frets, and that is a combination of the bridge being set on an angle, and as you can see, the nut is set on an opposite angle, and then the frets fan, and as they come down, they fan the other way. And why would you do that? Well, the concept is that because ukulele strings are all different gauges, and this is a low G, and this is purely a low G instrument, when you put a low G on, often that G and even the C string can feel a bit floppy, a bit of lack of tension, and it's all to do with the vibrating mass of the string over the length. Now, if you make that scale a bit longer, you give it more vibrating mass and it gets more tension and it feels a bit snappier and a bit clearer. So you can only do that by increasing the scale of just that string. So what they've done is, this is basically a 15-inch scale on the A string, the first string, but by the time you get to the low G string, you're up to 16 inches. So this string has a longer scale than the A string, and so on, and they get progressively longer. Am I against that idea? No, I'm not. I'm not against innovation, and as I say, it's been used in high-end guitars before. Never seen it on a ukulele. It does make you beg the question, well, how important is it really? You know, Kamaka have gone on quite well over these years with without doing it, but you know, that's boring old me. Okay, let's have a look at it though. It is a very, very attractive instrument. This one is made, the Pulse KC is made of all solid acacia, and they also do one that's made of all solid spruce, or rather a spruce top, I think. And sorry about the lights, because the reflection, which really shows how glossy this is. The grain is not super stripy or curly, but there is a bit of flame going on in places. I'm not going to be able to show you with fluorescent lighting. It's book matched, 2 pieces on the top, 2 pieces on the sides, and 2 pieces on the back, which is very, very pretty. It's an incredibly attractive instrument, as you can see, finished in an absolute deep gloss that is mirror finish. I can't find a single flaw with the gloss either. The bridge there, as I say, set on an angle. It says it's made from, I can't work out whether it's rosewood or engineered wood. Actually, looking at it now, I can see the strips. It's engineered wood, so it's pieces of rosewood laminate in thin strips put together. It's more eco-friendly. Bit of detailing, purfling, and the bridge, the saddle is composite bone, compensated bone. Very nice, and I like the fact that they didn't just stick a bridge on an angle. They've actually shaped it for the angle, if you see what I mean. The decoration, I think, is classy. That's ebony binding to the top and back with white purfling. You also get that white purfling strip and on the ebony back stripe and the tail stripe, and it's complemented with this pale, chunky, flamed maple soundhole ring, which I think is really, really attractive. They go together really well. I absolutely love the look of the gloss. The construction is excellent. Looking inside as well, really, really neat and tidy. Not too thick on the top. This is good so far. Up to the neck, this is made of mahogany, pretty well hidden joints at the heel and the headstock, and it's really nice to see that they finished this in satin, so no gloss shine at all, so it's fast and not grippy on the fingers. That's nice. That is topped with more of the engineered rosewood fingerboard, and of course has the fan frets, which fan one way down to the other way as you go down the length of the fingerboard. There are 19 of those, 14 to the body. The edges of the fingerboard are bound with a darker wood, hides the fret ends, means there's no sharp edges at all. We've got an inlay design of the Pulse ECG track on the fingerboard. I'm sometimes a little bit wary of those because I find they often, if the design is a bit chunkier in odd positions like the 2nd or the 5th or the 6th, I think it can confuse people. But helpfully these Pulse symbols jump at the 5th, 7th, 10th, 12th, so in the normal places. That looks good. Anyway, they are complemented on the side with side dots. Okay, the nut is bone. Obviously it's set on an angle to compensate for the scale differences. Gloss faced, acacia faced and glossed headstock with the Uma logo and this pale wooden trim around the edge of it. I've hit my first gripe with it, and it's such a silly gripe, but I don't like the Uma logo. For what is clearly a very serious instrument and a very well made instrument from all solid woods, it kind of looks like something you'd get on a child's toy, a toddler's toy. It looks a bit babyish. You know, there's worse things to be concerned about, but there we are. The tuners are made by De Young. They're the same ones as what were on the Antica Ukulele Ria Sacco I looked at last week. They're indistinguishable from the Grover equivalents to me. They're really good quality, really smooth, small black buttons. The strings on this are unspecified fluorocarbon with a wound low G, and we'll come on to that in a moment. And you also get a really nice embroidered branded gig bag. And the price in UK stores, as being sold by the ukulele specialists in the UK, is £379. Now that's pretty damn good actually, because what I was going to say about this construction and quality is this reminds me of the higher end Pono ukuleles, like their Pro Classic series. That would cost you quite a bit more than £379. So I think this is pretty keen price for something that's also made in China or the Far East. £379 I think is pretty damn good for and something that's very different. As I say, built really well, nice and light, nice and balanced. Not really got too many complaints about it at all, apart from that headstock. Will you like the fan frets or not? I don't know. As I say, a lot of people think it's about comfort of play. It isn't. It's about that tension issue. It also is supposedly better for intonation on the G and C strings up the neck. We will see. But obviously you probably might need a bit of adjustment with your play. One thing I will say though, this, as I said, is low G only. You could not easily put a re-entrant G on this, because you're really going to have to adjust. I don't think you could adjust that saddle enough to put one on. Well, maybe you could, but I don't think it would be straightforward. That fanning has been designed for a low G. If you're not a low G fan, and I don't play a lot of low G, I do wonder whether you're going to buy this. But you know, there we are. You've got choices. If you are a low G fan, you'd probably love it. Let's have a tune up with the strobe and give you a play. One thing I can confirm, having been playing it this morning, is that the tension on that G in particular is noticeably better than on a regular low G on a regular concert or tenor, and zingier, snappier and clearer in the mix. So if you like your warm and you like your deep sound with the ukulele, I think you'll love this. Very much on the lower end. The volume's very good. The sustain's pretty good too. Does take a bit of adjustment to play it. Not difficult, you know, if you spend a day with it, you'd soon get used to it. I'm finding strumming, that's a bit too dark for me. It's nice, but it's very heavy on the bass. all about that bass. A lot of people like that. See, that bass is really coming through. And coming through almost a bit too much for my taste. What do you think? Okay. There's nothing wrong with the sound. I like the sound. Is it a bit too one-trick pony? I don't know. And the fact that you couldn't put a high G on there does concern me a bit. But for low G lovers who want a nice sounding, extremely well-made instrument, that is a real bit of a talking point as well. And there's no getting away from the fact that the comfort of that snappier G string is very, very nice on the fingers. But you just got to have a think about that tone. So an interesting one. Gets a good score, gets a recommendation, but it gets a recommendation with a be sure you know what you are getting with it. This is the Uma Pulse KC. Many thanks to Mark Peelstone's Music in the UK, who's the UK distributor for Uma, and he's loaned me this one to have a look at. He's got a good eye for picking out instruments, and I understand why he's decided to take this one on. It's not for everybody, but if it is for you and it's your cup of tea on that darker low G sound, I think you probably really want to have a look at this, because it's certainly interesting, isn't it? There we are. Back next week. What have I got? Don't know. Surprise. Have a very good week. See you soon. Bye bye.